Okay, so today we will deal with the common problems related to oral cavity. Okay, so what are the common problems related to oral cavity, and what are the different formulations available to treat these? So we will start with the structure of the oral cavity. The teeth are a part of the mouth and is located in the sockets. You know, the oral cavity has teeth and it's located, and there is the mandible and maxilla, the upper and lower jaw present, and there are gums. Also, the alveoli processes are covered by the gingivae or gums, which extend slightly into each socket and form the gingival sulcus. So the sockets are lined by the periodontal ligament, which anchors the teeth in position and also act as a shock absorber during chewing. So we are learning about the structure of the oral cavity. You can see how the oral cavity looks. So it has there is the hard palate is there is the soft palate, and there is there is oropharynx, there is, you can see the gingiva or the gums, and the teeth arranged, the vestibule and the lower frenulum. So these are all the parts of the oral cavity. You are familiar with these things. Then a typical tooth has three parts. The top part is the crown, which is the visible portion. The typical tooth contains the crown, which is the visible portion of the teeth, and it is above the level of the gums, which is the part which is seen outside. Then there is the root, which is embedded in the socket, and then there is the neck, which is the constricted junction of the crown, and the root near the gum line. So the teeth has the crown, it has a neck, it also has the root. So there are different problems related to the oral cavity. Okay, there are different problems related to the oral cavity, and one of them is bad breath or halitosis. Bad breath is also called halitosis. Then there is also the so it may be due to disease in the gums, and these are some other reasons for the bad breath. It may be due to disease in the gums, due to cavities in the teeth, due to oral cancer, dry mouth, bacteria on the tongue. These are some of the reasons responsible for the bad breath or halitosis. So you can see it is a social, there is a social stigma associated with bad breath, of course. So one of the common things we do is we use mouthwashes to cover the bad breath when a dental problem is present. This will only mask the odor and not cure it. So another common problem with the teeth, oral care problem, related problem, is the tooth decay, and this is also known as cavity in the teeth. So when does tooth decay occurs? When there is plaque, which is a sticky substance that forms on the teeth, and when this combines with sugars or starches of the food we eat, it produces acids which attack the tooth enamel. Okay, so that is how tooth decay occurs when there is plaque. What is plaque? It is the sticky substance that forms on the teeth, which combines with the sugars and starches of the food we eat. This combination produces acids that attack the tooth enamel, the outer covering, and leads to tooth decay. So we can have cavities at any age. So what happens as we age? Cavities develop because the tooth enamel erodes, and also dry mouth can happen, be there due to age or medications. These are also some other reasons for cavities and tooth decay in the oral cavity. So you can see how the tooth decay looks, especially for small children. They have some conditions called nursing bottle caries and different conditions leading to the tooth decay. So what are the ways you can prevent the tooth decay? By brushing twice a day, flossing daily, and going for regular dental checkups. So eating healthy foods and avoiding snacks and drinks that are high in sugar are also ways to prevent the tooth decay. So tooth decay can be prevented by brushing twice a day, flossing daily, and doing regular dental checkups. Also, you have to avoid snacks and drinks which are high in sugar and eat healthy foods. These are some of the ways in which you can prevent the tooth decay. So we also have gum disease or periodontal disease. What is a periodontal disease or gum disease? It is an infection of the gums which surrounds the teeth, and it's one of the main causes of tooth loss among adults, gum disease. So one of the reasons is risk factors is smoking. Diabetes and dry mouth can also increase the risk of periodontal disease or gum disease. Okay, so what is gum disease? A periodontal disease, which is an infection of the gums that surround the teeth. It is also one of the main causes of tooth loss among adults. And smoking is one of the most significant risk factors. Diabetes and dry mouth can also cause this kind of gum disease. So what are the symptoms of gum disease? Bad breath, red, swollen, tender or bleeding gums, sensitive teeth, painful chewing. All these are the reasons for the gum disease. So there are two major stages in the gum disease. One is the gingivitis and another is the periodontitis. So here also we can see that if you brushing twice a day, regular dental checkups, flossing daily, these are important in preventing gum disease. So one important thing is the oral health, oral hygiene or oral health of a person is indicative of the general health of the person. So it is important to maintain oral hygiene and oral health. So you can see how the gum disease has affected the gum, and naturally it can loosen the teeth and cause all kinds of problems. You see how the healthy gums look. It's generally pink and healthy, while here you can see it's red and swollen. There is gum disease, so it adversely affects the teeth. So another the problem associated to the oral cavity is oral cancer. Usually it is seen in people over the age of 40, and one of the biggest risk factors is chewing tobacco and oral consumption. So this is one of the main reasons for oral cancer, chewing tobacco. So also alcohol consumption. Similarly, HPV, a sexually transmitted virus, can also increase the risk of oral cancer. So oral cancer is serious and deadly. Okay, it's serious and deadly disease seen in people over 40 years of age, and things to be avoided is chewing tobacco, alcohol consumption. So what are the symptoms of oral cancer? Symptoms of mouth or throat cancer: sores, lumps or rough areas in the mouth. These are some of the symptoms of the oral cancer. We may also have a change in the bite because of this, and there may be difficulty in chewing or moving the tongue or jaw in this kind of oral cancer. So what happens? The symptoms of mouth cancer include sores in the mouth, sores and in the lumps or rough areas in the mouth. Similarly, when you there may be a change in the bite. That is when you bite the upper and lower jaw, the teeth together. There may be a change in the bite, the position of the bite, and there may be also difficulty in chewing or moving the tongue or jaw. These are some of the things that can happen if there is. These are some of the symptoms of oral cancer. Another condition, common problem associated with the oral cavity is mouth sores. Okay, there are different types of mouth sores, and these can be pesky and bothersome. So usually a mouth sore lasts for more than a week or two, and it's nothing to worry about. It will disappear on its own. Usually people say you can eat curd, some vitamin C, some of the things to reduce the mouth sores. So usually some of the common mouth sores are canker sores that occur inside the mouth. These are not contagious and can be triggered by many different causes. Okay, so there are one of the typical sores seen in the or the common mouth sore is the canker sore, which occurs inside the mouth and not on the lips. They are not contagious and can be triggered by many causes. So fever, blisters, or cold sores may also be caused by the virus herpes simplex, and it occurs on the edge of the outer lips. You can see the picture here. You can see there are sores on the outer part of the lips. On the edge of the outer lips, they are contagious and will come and go, but are not completely curable. So mouth sores are also seen in oral thrush or candidiasis, a yeast infection of the mouth, that can be seen in infants, denture wearers, people with diabetes, and during cancer treatment. Okay, so mouth sores may be also seen in a condition called oral thrush or candidiasis, which is an yeast infection of the mouth. So it can be seen in infants, denture wearers, people with diabetes, and during cancer treatment. So another common problem associated with the oral cavity is the loss of tooth structure, which is caused by acid attacking the enamel. Tooth erosion, which is the loss of tooth structure, and is caused by acid attacking the enamel of the teeth. So what are the signs and symptoms of tooth erosion? It ranges from sensitivity to more severe problems such as cracking. Okay, so tooth erosion can lead to sensitive teeth or even cracking of the teeth. So there is a loss in the structure of the tooth, and it is caused by the acid attacking the enamel. Okay. So you can see how tooth erosion affects the teeth. So it's affecting the structure of the teeth. Yes. Another problem is tooth sensitivity. Tooth sensitivity is a common problem. So what happens when there is sensitive teeth? There is pain or discomfort to the teeth from sweets, cold air, hot drinks, cold drinks, ice cream. You would have noticed that if the teeth are sensitive, then there is pain or discomfort to the teeth from sweets, cold air, hot drinks, cold drinks, or ice cream. Some people with sensitive teeth even experience discomfort from brushing and flossing. So sensitive teeth can be also a sign of cracked tooth or tooth abscess. Okay, so this is another problem associated with the oral cavity. So we discussed about the different problems that can be encountered in the or common problems related to the oral cavity, and next we will be discussing the formulation approaches for the different products which are helpful in treating this kind of problems. So can you tell me some of the problems related to the oral cavity? One is, the first one we discussed is, hello, halitosis or bad breath. What is another? What are the reasons for this kind of bad breath? Maybe due to disease in the gums, cavities, oral cavity, dry mouth, and bacteria on the tongue. These are some of the reasons for bad breath. It's also as having a lot of social problems or social stigma is associated with bad breath. And mouthwash can apparently cover the bad breath, and it can mask the unpleasant odor. But for curing, you need further treatment to be done. And tooth decay is also known as tooth decay of the tooth is also known as cavities of the teeth, and it can occur when there is plaque, the sticky substance that forms on the teeth, which combines with sugars and starches of the food we eat. This combination produces acids which attack the tooth enamel. That is, plaque that is formed on the teeth combines with the sugars and starch of the food. So basically, the mouth has to be washed properly after each eating. And otherwise, what happens? This kind of plaque formation occurs and it attacks the tooth enamel. And it is applicable for people of any age. Cavities can come at, it is not necessarily that small, only when you are small you can have a tooth cavity. You can have cavities at any age, and it happens when the tooth enamel erodes and dry mouth is seen due to age or medication. All these can lead to tooth decay, and ultimately it is, you can see how the tooth look. The structure of the tooth is affected. And you can prevent this kind of tooth decay by brushing twice a day, flossing daily, going for regular dental checkups, eating healthy food, avoiding snacks and drinks which are high in sugar. Gum disease is also known as periodontal disease, which is an infection of the gums. It is also one of the main causes of tooth loss among the adults. So smoking is one of the factors. Diabetes, dry mouth, lead to gum disease. Symptoms of the gum disease include bad breath, red, swollen, tender or bleeding gums, sensitive teeth, painful chewing. Okay, so these are some of the symptoms of gum disease, and it can be in two stages: gingivitis, periodontitis. So maintaining the condition, oral hygiene, by brushing twice a day, regular dental checkup, flossing daily, all these can help in preventing the gum disease. So you can see how the healthy gum and the gum which is affected is how it is. Oral cancer is another serious and deadly disease which is seen especially in the people over the age of 40. And the main reasons for oral cancer or mouth cancer is chewing tobacco, alcohol consumption. Okay, these are some reasons. And also HPV, as sexually transmitted what virus, can increase the risk of oral cancer. So some of the symptoms of oral cancer, throat cancer include sores, lumps or rough areas in the mouth. Then so change in the bite. When you are biting both the upper and lower jaw, the teeth, you can see there is a change in the position of the bite. There is an oral cancer. So also there may be difficulty in moving or chewing food, or moving the tongue in the or jaw. There may be a difficulty. These are some of the symptoms of mouth or throat cancer. And mouth sores, they are usually different types of, there are different types of mouth sores. They may be pesky, bothersome, but they usually last not more than 2 weeks. And there's nothing to worry about it. It will disappear on its own. And the common mouth sores include the canker sores, which occur inside the mouth and not on the lips. They are not contagious. There can be different reasons for these mouth sores. One may be fever, blisters, or cold sores, which are caused by the herpes simplex virus. And also this, you can see it occurs on the outer edge, on the edge of the outer lips. The mouth sores can be seen on the edge of the outer lips. Then there are also mouth sores due to oral thrush or candidiasis. This is an yeast infection of the mouth. It can be seen in infants, denture wearers, people with diabetes, and during cancer treatment. Tooth erosion can lead to loss of structure of the tooth. It can be caused by acid attacking the enamel, and the different signs and symptoms of tooth erosion range from sensitivity to more severe problems such as cracking. So tooth erosion can lead to the loss of the tooth structure. You can see in the diagram how the tooth structure is affected because of this kind of tooth erosion. So what happens, the teeth become more sensitive and sensitive to cracking if there is the tooth erosion. So it's mainly caused by acid which attacks the enamel, leading to the loss of the tooth structure. Another common problem associated with the oral cavity is tooth sensitivity. Yes. Basically, tooth sensitivity involves experiencing pain or discomfort on the teeth from sweets, cold air, hot drinks, cold drinks or ice creams. So some people with, so what happens if there is a tooth sensitivity, you can feel pain or discomfort on the teeth. When you are having sweets or any cold air goes through the mouth, you can feel the pain or discomfort. Similarly, when people drink hot drinks, cold drinks, ice cream, if there is tooth sensitivity, there will be pain or discomfort in the teeth. So some people with sensitive teeth even experience discomfort from brushing and flossing. So sensitive teeth can also be a sign of a cracked tooth or tooth abscess. Okay, so we discussed about the different problems like oral cancer, gum disease, tooth decay, and mouth, bad breath. So these are all some of the common problems related to the oral cavity. Okay, we also discussed the structure of the oral cavity and the different problems like bad halitosis or bad breath, and cavities or tooth decay, gum disease, which is also called periodontal disease, which may be either as in gingivitis or another stage may be periodontitis, oral cancer, mouth sores, and tooth erosion, tooth sensitivity. Okay, these are some of the problems related to the oral cavity. So what can we do to treat these kind of problems? Okay, we'll discuss about some of the products or the formulation approaches related to different products used to treat the tooth or problems related to the oral cavity. So first we will deal with the formulation of a toothpaste. Okay, what are the building blocks? You know, toothpaste is or it is commonly used in the oral cavity, and so brushing twice a day is very important for maintaining the oral hygiene. So we will discuss about the formulation of a toothpaste. So these some of the products which are used to clean the teeth are dentifrices. They are collectively called dentifrices, which are preparations meant to clean the teeth and other parts of the oral cavity. So it may be dentifrices may be available as tooth powder, toothpaste, gels, dental creams, and even dental foams. Okay. So these are meant to enhance the personal appearance of the teeth by maintaining cleaner teeth, reduction of bad odor, and reduction of tooth decay, and also to keep the gum healthy. Okay. So the most popular form of dentifrice is the toothpaste, which we commonly use every day. What are the different ingredients in a toothpaste? Okay, so there are different agents like the abrasive or polishing agents, which are used to polish the teeth and remove the food debris which adheres to the surface of the teeth. Then usually 20 to 50% of the total formulation is an abrasive or the polishing agent. So what should the characteristics of an abrasive or polishing agent be? It should not produce any kind of gritty sensation on the mouth. It should possess good abrasive properties, and it should be compatible with other ingredients. It should provide good shine to the enamel. And some of the commonly used abrasive agents are precipitated calcium carbonate, calcium phosphate, dental grade silica, trihydrated alumina. These are some of the abrasive agents. There are also foaming agents or wetting agents. How do they act? They reduce the surface tension at the interface of the adhered material and enamel of the teeth. So they help in diffusion of the preparation or the toothpaste into the narrow spaces in between the teeth. So it enhances the cleansing action. And it should have good surface active properties. It should be non-toxic, non-irritant to the oral mucosa of the buccal cavity, and it should also be tasteless. Some of the common examples of surfactants are sodium lauryl sulfate, which is commonly used, cationic surfactant, SLS. Then sodium lauryl sarcosinate, humectants like sorbitol, glycerin, propylene glycol. These are also used. Humectants may also be used in the toothpaste. The typical examples being glycerin, propylene glycol, and sorbitol. Gelling agents are used. Then there are also agents which have binding properties. These act as agents having binding properties which hold the solid and liquid components together to form a smooth paste. So it maintains the properties mainly during storage. So it prevents bleeding from the paste and also adds up to the body and viscosity of the final formulation. So some of the commonly used binding agents include carboxymethyl cellulose, sodium carboxymethyl cellulose, sodium CMC, HEC or hydroxyethyl cellulose, and cellulose ether. Sweetening agents, what do? They are added to improve the sweetening properties and cover the bitter taste of the ingredients such as surfactants and binders. These help in promoting the acceptance of the product when administered orally. So examples of sweetening agents include saccharin, sodium, chloroform, aspartame, cyclamates, potassium acesulfame. Okay, there are also flavoring agents that may be used in a toothpaste, like volatile oil consisting of spearmint and peppermint. These are a crucial part of the formulation to meet the consumer preferences. Flavoring is very important, especially because we are using this product in the oral cavity. So some of the components of flavoring may include thymol, anethol, eucalyptol, aniseed oil of green aniseed oil. So they may interact with other components of the formulation. So we have to check for the compatibility. So coloring agents, they also may be used in a less concentration of 0.01% as permitted by the European Union EEC cosmetic directive. So it can be used generally in combination with a proportion of the white cream base. It may be, they are mainly used for the consumer acceptability. Whitening agents like titanium dioxide may also be used preferentially in order to provide additional whiteness and brilliance to the paste. Other therapeutic ingredients, agents may also be used so that there will be additional beneficial effects beside normal cleansing properties. Sometimes we see that even like cloves, salt, fluorides, salt, other things are also added for the additional beneficial effect besides the normal cleansing properties. Preservatives are of course very important to maintain the properties of the product throughout the shelf life of the product. Usually we use 5% methyl paraben and 0.02% propyl paraben. Sodium benzoate is not usually used because of the incompatibility problems. Several other agents like anti-caries agents, anti-plaque agents, anti-tartar agents, and sensitive dentine agents, agents for optical brightness, bleaching agents, pH regulators may also be used in the preparation of the toothpaste. See, the anti-caries agents include fluoride derivatives. Anti-plaque agents may also be used, and anti-tartar agents. So these are some of the building blocks used in the formulation of the toothpaste. So in the next class, we will discuss about the how we are going to formulate the